Welcome back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe it's YouTube that cut me off or it's my network. But I just saw that I just went off and I had to just, I've been off here for like close to 20 minutes. I didn't even know. So let me continue from where I stopped. The impact of the anxious attachment style on a relationship. So the first thing I mentioned before I went offline was that if you are in a relationship with somebody with an anxious attachment style, they tend to push you away. They tend to push you away because of their clinging attitude. Because when they start to, how do I put it? When they start to monitor you, let me put it that way, they are needing constant reassurance from you that you love them. They're over clingy, they are always afraid, they're always doing everything to make the relationship work. They're always doing everything. They are losing themselves. They are losing their self-respect, their self-esteem just to keep you. It becomes overboard because when a man or a woman becomes over jealous, he wants to know where you're going to, who are your friends. There's nothing wrong in knowing your friends, but when he keeps tabs of where you are actually going to all the time, he's always monitoring your Facebook media handles, is the one monitoring your phones, checking your calls, checking everything. You call such a person and they send you a message and you don't reply on time. They send you another overload of messages. They overtext you, they overcall you. It becomes overbearing sometimes, and in such a way they begin to push the partner away because they are doing so much. They are doing too much. So they believe that it is when they do so much, that is when their partner will love them. So they do too much. And sometimes it becomes quite overwhelming. So those are the two effects it has on the relationship. One, their over excessive behavior actually overwhelms their partner. And secondly, it actually pushes their partner away. It pushes their partner away. And the third thing is that they suffer from self-worth issues, because somebody with the anxious attachment style is somebody that does not believe in themselves. They don't have the inner validation that they are worthy, that they ought to, that they are worthy. Let me put it that way. Because like I said, like I remember when they were coming from childhood, they had to do everything for their parents to show them love and care. So they learn to shut down a part of themselves. They tend to shut down a part of themselves because they believe that that part is not so good. So if I put up that bring up that part of themselves, this my husband or my boyfriend is going to hate me. He's not going to want to love me. He's going to leave me. So they shut down that part of themselves. They take up the superficial part of themselves. So they learn to readjust themselves to the mood of the person they are moving with. So what happens to them? They are still reliving it in adulthood. So they tend to behave in such a way. So in such a way, their self-worth is diminished because they will do things to displease themselves, to always please that other person. So they lose themselves in that situation. They ignore their boundaries, they ignore their self. So they have self-worth issue because their sense of validation is coming from you acknowledging them. The acknowledging they didn't get from their parents is what they're actually seeking from you. So they will do anything to just make you acknowledge them. So it has an impact on the relationship. So what are the core wounds of somebody with an anxious attachment style? Maybe you know somebody with it from all what I've said so far. The part one of the video is already live. This is the second one. So you can go watch the part one so you can actually understand what I'm trying to say. So what are the core wounds? They suffer from abandonment wounds, they suffer from self-rejection wounds, they suffer from rejection wounds, and they suffer from self-worth issues. So they have three things they're actually going to. This is important because if you want to help them, you have to understand where they are coming from, where their pain is originating from. before you can actually be able to help them. So that is what I am going to tell you. So when you now know their core wounds, you know their triggers, you know the impact it has on them. So what are the red flags of somebody, of you being in a relationship with somebody that has an anxious attachment style? The first what is it called, the first red flag you should actually be aware of is that they are emotionally dependent upon you. They are emotionally dependent upon you because they are needing your constant reassurance for them to feel happy, for them to feel loved, for them to feel cherished. That is the first thing. They are emotionally dependent upon you. And secondly, they ignore their personal boundaries to please you. They don't set boundaries. They don't have boundaries. Even if they have boundaries, they are going to actually break away from those boundaries. So they tend to actually, that's one of the things they do, they tend to actually overlook their boundaries. They ignore their boundaries just to keep you in the relationship because they believe that if they put up boundaries, you will not like them, and because you will not like them, you will leave them. So they are still reliving what is going on with them in their childhood. The third thing that actually happens is this, the third red flag that actually happens is that they would actually destroy their self-esteem, their self-worth to keep you. So they will do everything as long as you are there with them, to hold them, to love them, then they would actually do anything, even if it means destroying their own self-worth. So I want you to see it from this fear that they are still having that sense, that mindset, that sense that you are their parents, because what they went through with their parents, they've not healed from it. So you are in a relationship with them, so they are still looking for you from the sphere of their parents due to the trauma that they are actually reliving in. So as long as they don't heal that trauma, you are still going to be a form of a semi-parent who they will still continue to please for you to love them. So you have to come to this awareness to be able to understand how you are going to deal with them. So you talk to them passionately. Like I said earlier, create a safe place for them to be able to communicate with you. Let them be able to express their feelings to you. When they feel safe enough, they'll be able to talk about some things they are hiding deep within of themselves, and that is when you can actually come in with empathy and make them go for therapy. So now that you know all these things, so how do you heal from this attachment wound if you are having this type of attachment wound? So the first thing I would encourage anyone to do is go for therapy. Make sure you seek out a licensed professional, someone who can help you through the healing journey, helping you to overcome your childhood wounds, your childhood trauma, help you to come out of it. That is the first thing you can actually do. So the second thing you can actually do is you can journal down your thoughts. Write down those things you think about yourself. Write down those things that you feel you should hear from your parents that they didn't tell you as a child. Write them down, journal down those thoughts, and read it aloud to yourself. It helps. It really helps. I still do it up to today. Because I had childhood ones and I had the anxious attachment style. I still do it up to today, even though I'm actually free from it. And the third thing you can actually do is you do mindfulness and meditation. Yes, mindfulness and meditation so also helps. It helps to calm your mind. When you go for therapy, doing mindfulness and meditation works more faster because they would actually make you to become aware of your thoughts. When you become aware of your thoughts, you know why you're thinking this way, and it will be very easy for you when you're doing some meditation exercise to be able to re-engineer your thoughts, transmit your negative thoughts about yourself, and begin to think positive about yourself. But that is where you begin to reparent yourself. So the next thing you can actually do is you do the inner child work. This is where I call the reparenting. So you actually reparent yourself. You speak kindly to your inner child. I still do it up today. In the morning, I speak to my inner child. In the evening, I speak to my inner child. I tell my inner child beautiful things I did not hear my parents tell me when I was growing up. So I make my inner child feel secure, feel safe, feel loved, feel cherished, feel adorable. I tell my inner child so many things. Sometimes I might even be hugging myself on my bed, talking to my inner child, like as if I'm talking to my lover. I love myself from the inside out by talking lovingly to my inner child. And it worked for me. It was one of the things that helped me to heal faster when I was going through my healing journey. It helped me a lot. It really helps me a lot. So you can also practice self-care and self-love. This is a time for you to re-engineer your mind and understand that love is unconditional, not conditional. So this is a time for you to give yourself that unconditional love. Love yourself unconditional for your flaws, for your quirks, for everything about you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And also make sure to take care of yourself. Eat well, rest well, exercise, go to the spa, go to the salon, fix your nails, do your hair, take care of your skin, be beautiful. But one thing I'll tell you is to be beautiful for yourself. Don't be beautiful because you want other people to appreciate you. Be beautiful because you want to be beautiful for yourself. You're doing it for yourself, not because you want other people to praise you. No, 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 no. Do it for yourself. So the next thing you need to do, you need to build self-trust. You need to start doing things alone. Learn to do things alone. Take it one step at a time. Do things alone. Try to see how it's going to feel like for you to do things alone all by yourself. And if you see how it feels, if you might be feeling anxious or anxiety, this is the time to calm down. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in and exhale and tell yourself, all is well. I am safe. I can do it. I can do it. Do it. And if you find yourself doing it so well, celebrate your small wins. And if you don't succeed at it, don't be hard on yourself. Try all over again. There's always room for improvement. Try all over again. So these are the things that you can do. And the last thing you can actually do is build your emotional balance. Invest in your emotional bank account, because as a child, your emotional bank was zero. There was no investments made into your emotional bank. So as a result, you had nothing. So you need to invest in your emotional bank. Invest in your emotional bank. Build your emotional bank with yourself, because it's when you can actually trust yourself. That is when you can actually trust others. So these are the ways you can actually heal from the anxious attachment style. I hope you've been able to get value for your time. So if you find yourself in any of the things I've said so far, then it's time for you to go for healing. It is your time of jubilee. It is your time of freedom. It is your time to come out of this. So you can watch the part 1 of this video in my channel page. The part 1 is already here. There was a disconnection in the network, so that's why I had to do the part 2. So you can watch the part 1 so you can understand what I'm saying better. That is where I explain everything about the anxious attachment style. So if you find yourself in this show, you have somebody who is in this situation, tell them to please come and watch this video. It's going to be helpful for them, so that they can understand themselves better. And at the same time, if you have a spouse in this kind of situation, this is the time to be more compassionate, empathetic, walk with them through this journey, create a safe place for them. Make sure you do more of communication with them, and don't be judgmental. Be empathetic with them. Try to understand them, see things from their perspective. Be their friend and not their judge, and try to help them, encourage them to be independent, because they are quite dependent people. Try to encourage them to do things by themselves. Encourage them when they make it, and when they don't make it, still give them the courage. You continue to encourage them. They will get it, because that is exactly what they are actually needing. So those are the things you can actually do if you have someone, a partner who is having the anxious attachment style. So that's one of the ways you can help them to heal. If you, on the other hand, are someone that has the secure attachment style. So I want to say thank you to every one of you that has watched my video so far. I hope you've got value for your time, and I hope you got value for what you've heard so far. If everything I have resonated with you, what I've said so far resonated with you, I want you to give me a thumbs up and also leave a comment and tell me what exactly you learned about what you learned in this video and what you would want to see me do. So next week I'll be talking about the next attachment style, and that is the avoidant attachment style. So it's almost similar to the anxious attachment style, but the behavior they put up is different from the anxious attachment style. So I'll be talking about that next week, so you don't want to miss it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get new updates when I make a new video. I make videos on emotional healing, and at the same time I do meditation video, affirmation videos, and I also do live streams. So that's with my live streams I talk about relationship issues, how to heal trauma, and every other thing. And my meditation video is for you to actually to be able to heal your emotional one. So it's a self-help thing that you can actually listen to. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel once more. And to all my existing subscribers, I say thank you for subscribing. We have new members in the house, we have new subscribers in the house. I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And you are welcome to Flourish and Thrive with EA. And I hope you get the best of this channel. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week when I talk about the avoidant attachment style, same time by 4:30 p.m. So have a nice day. Bye.